Welcome to Development Hell. For every horror movie that hits V.O.D, countless others end up D.O.A. Development Hell is the podcast dedicated to unearthing these cursed horror productions. We're going to find out what went wrong and then decide if these titles still stand a shot at the green light. I am your host, Josh Corngut. I am a filmmaker in Toronto, Canada. This podcast is a proud member of the Dread Podcast Network. Available now from Dread, Bad Candy. On Halloween night in New Salem, radio DJs Chili Billy, Corey Taylor, and Paul, played by Zach Galligan, tell a twisted anthology of terrifying local myths that lead to a grim end for small-town residents. So, if you love Slipknot, Gremlins, and horror, this is the film for you. Bad Candy is out now, on demand everywhere, and you can get your hands on the Blu-ray October 10th. Okay, so welcome back to another episode of Development Hell. Today is a little bit out of the box for us. We're touching on Sleepaway Camp for The Survivor. Generally speaking, we tend to have episodes about horror movies that never got made in any capacity. This one is kind of like a halfway there. So we'll get into it later on. But this film, there was about 30 minutes worth of footage, and then one day fans kind of pieced it together, and then we kind of got our hands on what came of that. Today, we have a very special guest. We have Andy Scott. He's a horror fan. He's a filmmaker. We're really excited to have him for this episode. Andy, can you introduce yourself for the Development Hell audience?
Hey, I'm Andy. I use he, him pronouns. Aspiring horror director. I also direct for the stage, developing new work, and also doing some like regional work, like musicals and plays.
Oh my gosh, I did clock that there was theater on your resume, but I love that. Okay, so in the world of theater, like, what's your first passion? Are you a performer? Are you a writer? Who are you?
I'm a director.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Really, my main passion is working with playwrights and trying to get their play to a place where, they think it should be, we're always kind of chasing the grants and the residencies to make things happen. It can be a slow process. I mean, that's kind of its own kind of development hell.
I bet.
Yeah. And so, I like to direct. I really like to direct, bizarre stuff that really comments on the current moment.
I don't think I've talked about this on the podcast, although I probably have, is I went to theater school with the intention of sort of going up through theater before eventually pivoting to film. And so when I hear about people still being able to succeed and thrive in the world of theater, I get a little sad, I get a little jealous. Like, that could have been me, but it's not.
Oh, so like, it's an uphill battle. And I've, it's kind of cool that I've broadened my horizons to TV and film, because now I kind of feel like I'm empowered to do it all. Yeah. So I definitely recommend that if you feel like you're in a box, like, just give yourself the chance to like do something a little bit different. It really informs everything you do.
I like that a lot. And, coming from a theater training myself, like, it all works everywhere. Like, if your creative talents are going to move from one space to another with you, as Andy said, you don't need to be in any kind of box. Do you ever do scary theater? Do you ever do and no one ever does really, but do you ever do horror theater or horror adjacent?
I really like the idea of horror theater. And I do want to have an opportunity to do that. The closest thing I've done to horror is this play called Aphrodisiac. And it was about these two siblings that were trying to figure out what happened to this woman that was sleeping with their father. And it was like a White House intern. And so throughout the play, they kind of take on identities and kind of play role play with each other in order to kind of uncover what happened. And it kind of does like go into horror territory just because of the way that they adapt identities and really flesh out like what happened to this woman. Like, did our father kill her? or not. So that's kind of the closest thing I've directed to like a horror play. But there are some really great ones out there that I really
Hmm.
would love to get my hands on.
If you could, and look, I apologize, everyone at home. We will get to the subject matter, but if you could adapt, let's say Hollywood was like, okay, like you can't make your spooky indie play, but we'll let you like adapt an existing IP to the stage. Have you ever thought
Yeah.
about what it would be?
Yeah, I think Suspiria. I think something
Oh,
that the like maybe something that kind of is somewhere in between the original and the sort of
hmm.
what do you call that, a remake? I don't know
I
if it is.
guess, yeah.
But I think like there's a space for it to be operatic. Like it's like somewhere in between, like a hybrid between a ballet and an opera, and then just to really like lean into like the body horror of it all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I've also felt the same way about Mother. I think that movie was meant to be like an opera.
I've never seen it, but from everything that I've heard,
Oh.
I would believe it.
Yeah, you should
Oh, I
watch.
oh, I love that. I've always kind of thought Stephen King stuff would be good for the stage, and I know a lot of it has gone there, but I haven't gotten. Okay, are you a Stephen King person? Do you like Stephen King?
Yeah, yeah, I do. And I live in New York. I was here when Misery was on Broadway, and I was
Uh-huh.
like strongly discouraged to not see it. But I really did want
Oh,
to. I really
I
want.
would want to see it too. Although I wouldn't want to see a bad version, which I hear from your friends that that could have been. But
Yeah.
there's a Stephen King short story that I think would be really great for the stage, which is called Mrs. Todd's Shortcut, about a lady that likes to like find shortcuts on her drive around town.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's my answer. I talk about that short story at least once out of every 3 episodes. So I've probably just lost a bunch of listeners, but that's okay. Okay. Before we get into the topic, because we're going to very, very soon, I just want to talk about maybe your film aspirations for a second. Because I was able to watch one of your short films online and I was actually really impressed. Will you talk to us a little bit about that project and where you are in the world of filmmaking?
Oh, sure. Thank you. Yeah. So the film Call It a Witch Hunt was inspired by Trump's misuse of the term witch hunt, and that really did kind of like spiral towards a sort of like a workplace comedy. Maybe I'm not sure. It depends on whether or not you find it funny. But yeah, we follow these three women through like just a a normal day at the office, and they may or may not be witches, and
Mm-hmm.
they may or may not look like women from the Salem witch trials. I don't know, kind of open to interpretation. My friend Kate and I put that film together. We shot it all in one night. We were both like very new to the whole thing,
Uh-huh.
but we kind of like rented out that office space you see in the film, and we kind of just like slapped it all together, and it was a really great learning experience for me, and it was screened at like a couple small festivals.
Where?
Yeah, it was at the Quiet City Film Festival. It was
Okay.
like it was its first year actually of screening, and
Mm-hmm.
that was in Brooklyn.
Cool.
Yeah, and then a few like kind of
There's a range of, of different festivals out there,
yeah,
but I
exactly.
really liked it. For me, it kind of felt like a horror film. Like it definitely was funny, and I picked up on the comedy beats, but it felt like a I don't know, like a
Yeah.
nice horror cautionary tale to not be a dick.
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of people watch it and they were like, "When are you going to expand this into like a series?" And I am so daunted by that, and I was like, "I don't know," but it was just kind of a nutshell of an idea that yeah, and it was great to put it together.
It's really promising. At the end, I'm gonna make sure you tell everyone exactly where we can watch that if you're comfortable with it.
Yeah, of
But
course.
for now, in case anyone's forgotten, we are going to be talking about the Sleepaway Camp franchise, but specifically, we're getting into Sleepaway Camp 4, The Survivor, which was kind of made, but kind of not made, but also released on DVD in 2012. But before we get there, before which I swear we will, I want to start
Mhm.
with talking about the first Sleepaway Camp, the one that started it all.
Oh boy.
Do you have any like overall feelings? Like, what's your overall, very vague relationship with this franchise as a whole?
Well, yeah, I do. Well, so I was not from a horror family. My parents really didn't like horror, and I was also I also kind of scared myself into not liking them. And then I think like there was kind of a big like switch at some point. We got that Netflix DVD subscription. I'm definitely aging myself, but I don't know if you remember
I
that or not.
celebrate that. I celebrate it for both of us.
Yeah, right. Those DVDs coming in the mail. So that was when I kind of like took it into my own hands, like giving myself the chance just to like watch things by myself and explore. So I think Sleepaway Camp came along after like so many other like staples like Halloween and Friday the 13th and stuff like that. So it came as a shock because like there isn't really an iconic villain at the center, like
Mhm.
unless unless you want to capture that in the last 30 seconds of the movie. Um, and like like it was just disarming, like because
Mhm.
there's a flashback to the gay relationship, and and
Yeah.
it's yeah. So it was kind of like a shock to the system for me.
Yeah, there's some, I don't know if any of it's like positive gay visibility, but there's some neutral gay visibility in the first one, which is interesting. And then of course there's a lot of very toxic, destructive queer themes that I think we'll get to.
Yeah.
Um so which of these movies have you seen other than number 4?
I've seen the first one and I've seen number 4, and then 2 and 3 I just like did a binge watch of like clips.
Nice.
Yeah, have not watched the full 2 and 3, but I feel
Okay,
like
I'll
I
be honest
got
with
the
you. I
general
haven't seen
idea.
them either. I have not
No,
seen
okay.
2 and I haven't seen 3, and I felt a little bad about it. But something we're going to get into fairly soon is that the fourth one is basically just a clip show getting into
Yeah.
the events of the first 3 films. So I actually thought it turned out to kind of to be a perfect seminar on the franchise. So do you remember the very first time that you saw the first film? You said it might have been fairly recently because it was Netflix DVD era.
Yeah, so during the Netflix DVD era, I think I was probably 15 or 16, so that would be over 10 years ago. And
Hell yeah.
yeah, just kind of in that, like just came in the mail. It was from the list, from the queue. And yeah, it arrived and I just popped it in.
Were
So
you already aware of the ending before you
no,
watched it?
no,
Oh, really? You weren't?
no.
Well, that's
Yeah.
a gift, kind of. Or
Yeah.
maybe a curse, I don't know.
So shocking. And I kind of remember thinking, like, am I, like, did I, like, how like you fall asleep watching a movie and you think like you're dreaming watching the movie, like, because it's that like bizarre
I
that,
know what you
yeah,
mean. I showed
right,
it to my best friend Jules, who's Juliana. She was on the last 2 episodes of this podcast,
yeah,
and we listen. Neither one of us know what uncanny valley means, but I will tell you that that image and that face and that like kind of fake person gave us the uncanny valley vibe,
you're right.
eerie creepinesses because it doesn't feel quite human, and it's
It's
very
not.
strange.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a mask, right? With
Yeah,
that
it's
face,
got to be, but it's a
right?
mask of that girl's face. It's so weird, that ending to the
Yeah,
first movie. We kind of brought it up a little bit, but queerness in, let's just say, the first film. How do you feel like queerness is presented? Do you feel like it's all bad? Is it all just ooey, or is there anything
well,
else sort of in there?
I do feel like the queer horror community has kind of taken it back and and made it what like as its own. But like for sure, it's definitely smells like Reagan. There's
Hmm.
yeah, it's gay panic, it's transgender panic,
Huge
all over
time.
it. Yeah, I mean, like I actually read. Gosh, I need to look up the name of the author, but
Hmm.
there was a writer on Dread Central that made a good point that um, if we force someone to like live as how they don't identify, then yeah, that is gonna, damage their identity. And that's something that, we're still coming to terms with, in the queer community that,
Oh yeah.
so I'm not articulating this well.
But it can be dangerous to like um I don't know, destroy someone's identity, or to make them like, I don't know, hold it in or restrict it, because it's just not healthy. We have to be who we are. So I kind of
Yeah.
feel that. How do we feel about Angela as a protagonist, antagonist, actor, character? How do we feel
Yeah.
about Angela as an entity all around?
Yeah. I mean, a sympathetic character. It's kind of relentless the way that she's bullied.
I mean, she
Um,
is annoying. Like
yeah.
she's not helping herself, though. I feel like in some cases. I mean, obviously these
True.
bullies are heinous, evil, homophobic monsters. But sometimes I'm just like, just you can talk, because when they lift you up, you talk. So what's going on, Angela? Like,
Right.
give
Yeah.
figure this out for me. Uh
Yeah. She's very paralyzed.
yeah. Even though you
Yeah.
could tell, like, that actress is like she gives me neurotypical energy. You know, she's like not pulling
Mm.
off the role so great, but that's okay because I don't think that this film needs to pull off the Academy Awards.
Right, yeah, I don't think that was the plan.
No. Martha Thomas was a character played by Desiree Gould. She was the aunt or the mom at the very beginning. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, yeah, she's camp.
Yes, it's
That is some high
definition
camp,
camp.
right?
It's incredible. Like it those segments are enough to make the movie worth its salt, really.
Right.
When I don't know if this is problematic or if other people share this opinion generally, but when I was a kid and I saw it for the first time, I thought, oh, for sure. And this is before the end and everything. Like I remember the first scene with her, I was like, well, that's got to be a trans woman, and I know it's not, but I always just assumed it was. And
Yeah.
then the ending was like, so then it like really didn't make sense. How yeah. So
Interesting.
I love Martha Thomas, and I wish her peace.
Yeah, no, I think it's hilarious that she kind of asks herself questions and then immediately answers them, doesn't even give anyone else a chance.
No, no, no. She
She'll
doesn't
be
need
like,
to do
we
that.
can't have that, can we? No, we can't. Like that kind of thing. It's like, okay.
It's so weird. It's like
Yeah,
one of those like animatronic like carnival characters.
right.
Have you seen Troll 2?
I haven't. I have not.
There's a lot of similar acting in that where it's like it's
Mm.
not good, but it's so like committed, and it's very
Right.
strange, and I love it a lot.
I wonder what inspired that. Well, I wonder what inspired that character, but also that actress. Like, what were they pulling from?
I don't know. Maybe she was supposed to be dreamlike because those segments are kind of liminal kind of feeling, but
Right.
I couldn't tell you. It's a choice, and it's a choice that I'm okay with.
Yeah, and it's sad that Angela slash Peter, like they
Mm-hmm.
have to go live with Mark,
Yeah.
the aunt, given that they do have. I mean, I this is based on my interpretation. I'm not totally sure, but like they do have another parent,
Oh, right, because
and
gay
it's
dad is alive. No, gay dad's dead. Mom
yeah.
is
But then
alive.
the mom. So I don't even know how to even process any of this because yeah, the parent. It seems that the other parent is the man watching them on the beach.
So there was two dads in that opening scene, kind of, or
Yeah.
it was the dad and the dad's partner, and they were with the dad's partner.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, okay,
I
that makes
I could
sense.
be misremembering, but I don't even know if I see a mom in the picture.
I thought the mom. They're like maybe mom's
Hmm.
coming. I don't. I really don't know. I
Yeah.
shouldn't even be guessing because I just don't know.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
one of those men were a gay couple, and one is the dad. We know that, right?
Yes. Yeah. I
Okay,
believe the one that dies is
is the
like
father.
their biological father. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's my guess. People are probably
Mhm.
screaming in their car because they know the truth. But yeah, that would be my guess too. Which means if our theory is correct, which it may not be, the mom may still be alive.
Hmm.
And there's no way that Martha Thomas is the mom, right? It is the
No,
aunt.
no. She's definitely their aunt.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And she's the one that dresses. You said Peter up as a girl.
Yeah, because she's
That
like
makes
her
sense.
logic or lack thereof is like, I already have a son, so why should I have another? I need a
Exactly.
daughter. Yeah, it's just like what?
You have to even it out. I get it. No, it's not. It's not ideal. But listen, any choice she makes, I have to stick with because she's my favorite character. So I was gonna ask you straight up, like, how do we feel about trans identity in the first film? But I don't think, I think I know. I don't know if you would surprise me with your feelings, but do we want to touch on it for half of a second, like how the
Oh,
first film uh,
yeah,
treats trans people, trans identity?
I know. Yeah, I don't think it's giving trans identity a good light.
No, no,
Um,
no, 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 no.
but but again, I've read so many articles by trans and non-binary writers that have taken it back from the man,
Hmm.
the not the real man, but the man.
The figurative man.
Yeah, the figurative man, and kind of have been able to embrace it as their own. So for
Hmm.
that, I'm happy.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's like the movie is a who done it, right? It's very like Agatha
Yes.
Christie. Like
It's
who
funny to
is this
frame it as
killer?
Agatha Christie, but yeah, I hear you.
It's like, who is this killer? And then
Yeah.
suddenly we're also forced to like understand the why of it too. So it's like, oh, it is like, so who done it? It's Angela. But why did Angela do it? And it's like,
Oh, like
it's
what?
so
Yeah.
forced.
Like why did Angela go raving mad and kill a bunch of people? Like what could it
Right.
be? Oh, I guess it could be because she's
Right. Or like just experiencing some kind of gender dysphoria.
right. Yes, that's
Right.
true. It's
It's like the jump of logic is like
it's
alarming.
not good, you know, and
Yeah.
I need to be doing more homework about trans representation in media. But like any good gay, I did watch Disclosure, and they did a good touching on the whole, you know, the 1980s portraying trans women as
Right.
like murderers for some reason constantly, like in what is it, Dressed to Kill? Oh my god, even the name.
Yeah.
Um,
For the Roman Polanski.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I guess that was a thing. We were like, careful, they'll kill you.
Right. Yeah. And that must have been somewhat informed by Psycho, right?
Oh my god, of course. Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3, though, I haven't seen them, but after having watched Sleepaway Camp 4, I do kind of feel like I have a good sense of what went down in those movies. Are you familiar with who plays Angela in these films?
So this is one of the things that I learned on the deep dive. I was like, Bruce Springsteen's sister,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then Angela.
Pamela Springsteen.
And I mean, she's not bad, is she?
No, I
Yeah.
mean, I kind of liked her. I find her hilarious. I love her like quippiness. Like they give her that Freddy Krueger quippiness every time she kills someone.
Yeah.
There's that scene which they reuse in part 4 where she's like trying to give some teen girl the benefit of the doubt and like may not kill her. She's like trying to give someone a second chance. And the girl's just like, fuck you, I don't want your second chance. And so she just goes into the back seat and she's like, what are you getting? And Angela comes back and she's like, a drill, and then just kills her.
Right.
So funny. It's very
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Although very homophobic. I remember watching a bit of Sleepaway Camp 2, and they do the whole like teens sitting around the campfire at the beginning, sort of telling the origins of Jason kind of a moment.
Yes.
And they definitely like use language like, and then they chopped off the guy bits, threw her into a loony bin, and then she went crazy and I was killing everybody. And I remember at that point I had to turn it off because I was like, the first movie's transphobic, but this is like
Yeah.
violent. Yeah, you've seen clips. Anything that stands out to you from Sleepaway Camp 2 or 3?
Definitely the grill. And then also there's a moment where it's like, let's see what's on TV. And then she moves aside and behind her is revealed like a TV with like a broken in screen and like a dude's cut off head is like inside the TV.
That's good. That's
She was
cinema.
she was very proud of herself.
Of
Like,
her bit?
yeah, let's see
Yeah.
what's on TV. And she moves aside.
It's good. I love
So
that. I mean, for me, it was definitely, and they showed it. It was the Joel scene from the back seat, or like the pulling her up the flagpole. She like hooks some girl to the flagpole
yeah,
and like brings her to the top and then drops her and she dies. It was
right.
insane. I
Right.
loved
And
it.
then also I was unclear on the lawnmower murder, like the
Oh
person
yeah.
that was their head was sticking out of the ground and
Uh-huh.
the lawnmower was like driven over. Like I was unclear if that was from a former film or if that was like a deleted scene because
I
you
had
know,
no idea at any point what was from an old film and what was from the current film because I walked away from watching Sleepaway Camp for the Survivor only confident that about 5 minutes of what I had seen had been new footage, which is basically just the girl on the dock like looking pensive. So I I really was not sure. It starts off with that scene of like there's this gross old guy and like a hot young girl having sex in a tent, and then
yeah,
Angela in a blonde wig, which I guess is from number 3 because she is has a blonde wig on that poster, like beats them up with a stick. So I thought for sure that was from the new one, but no, I'm pretty sure that's number 3. So it's very like puzzle piece number 4 if you've seen
yes, yes. And number 4 I watched last night.
it.
Um, wow.
Yeah, so overall relationship with number 4, having fresh eyes to it. What's your your introduction, how you feel generally speaking with Sleepaway Camp for the Survivor.
Yeah. Well, so one thing that I was taken to immediately was I remember, like, I suddenly had this like memory of how back in the 90s, and maybe they even still do this today, there would be like episodes of TV shows that would kind of like, I guess what they call them, clip shows, where instead of like a full beginning, middle, and end, they would
Mm-hmm.
kind of be, it would be like the characters like reminiscing, and then it would
Yeah.
kind of flash back.
Oh yeah.
It would be like a clip of a former episode.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I guess, like, could you call them a bottle episode? It was something like that. And I
No,
was
you
like,
called it a
well,
clip show. The Simpsons had tons of episodes making fun of that, but also just doing it. Where it's just
yeah,
like every
for
season,
sure.
to save on budget, you just have an episode that's mostly just slapping together best of scenes from other episodes with a theme, being like, "Oh, remember that Halloween?" Yeah, and
Right.
that's what this movie was.
Yeah, so when I was watching, like, when I was watching the beginning of the movie, and when it was very clear that, a clip from a former film was being, wedged in there, I was taken back to that, like, that disappointment I felt when I, like, sat down, turned on the TV, and it was just like a compilation of former episodes.
Yeah, it's exactly what it felt like. And
Yeah.
honestly, I was grateful because I was wondering, like, do I have to watch 2 and 3 for this episode? Is it morally correct if I don't? And then it for the first at least hour, it's just a stream of clips from the first two movie, and now I feel like I've seen 1, 2, and 3, even though I have seen 1. So I'm grateful to Sleepaway Camp 4. I'm wondering if the DVD that was eventually circulated and released in Blu-ray in like 2012, I wonder if there's more footage on that than what we were able to scrounge up. From what you saw, like what would be your guess of how many minutes of new footage you saw on on that version?
I think of this, I'm pretty sure the movie I watched was 75 minutes, and I'm pretty sure like 8 minutes of it was like new
Yes,
footage.
that would make
If,
sense.
if I can make a guess, like, I do genuinely feel it was under 10 minutes.
It
That,
had to have been under 10 minutes.
yeah, and the funny thing is that I feel like it was the beginning and the end. Like, I don't think the,
Uh-huh. Definitely
yeah.
the beginning and definitely the end. Like she's getting attacked by that guy. I found it incomprehensible, to be honest, like exactly what was happening. Can I read you right now, like a general log line for
Yes.
Sleepaway Camp for the Survivor? Okay, so 10 years after the massacre at Camp Arawak, and 4 years after the massacre at Camp New Horizons, an amnesiac named Allison Kramer embarks on a voyage to discover if she is the infamous murderer Angela Baker. Yeah, okay, I mean, sure, that
Yeah.
that adds. I would say that is what that movie kind of was.
Right.
And I
I,
guess she just watches the first 3 films as research to see if it's her.
yeah, I love the idea of being told by your psychiatrist, like, hey, you need to go visit this place where you were allegedly almost murdered.
Mhm.
And she's like, okay. And then she shows up, and then literally the first thing she decides to do is like strip down to a bikini and sunbathe. And I'm
Yeah.
like, wait.
You have to take advantage of the day and of the sun
Right.
because you do not know when you're going to have like a good stretch of sun sometimes, and I actually do relate with that. So you have to take advantage of it. And she is sunbathing for a good percentage of that 8 minutes that we are describing.
Right. And I guess, like, it's very reflective. I think it is, like, I think it is giving her a chance to ponder, but it's also like very
Hmm.
male gaze.
Oh my god! I mean, like these movies are just the grossest examples of like disgusting male gaze in horror. They're basically porn. Like they're very close to porn. Like, can I give you a little like information on the creative talents involved with Sleepaway Camp for the Survivor?
Yes.
Gosh. Okay, so it was directed by Jim Markovich and written by Tom Clohessy. It was produced by Double Helix Films Rainbow Productions, who did 2, 3, and attempted to make 4. It starred Carrie Chambers as Allison Kramer or possibly Angela Baker. I kind of asked you what this viewing experience was like. Did you like it? Was this watchable?
I did not like it. Um,
Yeah, me neither.
I it's very disorienting.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like the way it's like the literal way that it's cut is
Yeah, it's
confusing.
nauseating. It's like, it
Yeah, a
doesn't make
little bit.
sense. It's like
Right, yeah, it's
Inception.
very erratic.
Yeah,
Inception.
yeah, yeah. It's very Inception.
Yeah, this definitely inspired Christopher Nolan's Inception.
Well, it does have it does have a little bit of Memento energy, and you couldn't tell me that it doesn't. Yeah, it made no sense. I never knew what was happening, and because I haven't seen 2 and 3 like a fool, I was always like a little confused to when we were in flashback versus when we weren't. Um, but it is a staple of like development hell stories in the world of horror because it's one of the few examples of a movie that got partially made and then disappeared, and then due to fan demands, kind of got like Frankenstein sutured back together. So plans for Sleepaway Camp for the Survivor did kind of start up in 1992 as Sleepaway Camp 2 and Sleepaway Camp 3 were both sort of successfully produced by Double Helix. So this sequel did end up getting canceled partway through production due to Double Helix Films going bankrupt in 1992. The film was abandoned with only a little bit more than half of an hour actually shot. So out of that half an hour, we're not even totally certain what made the cut of the eventual release. But, or I guess at the time it was fourth, but now in canon, I guess it's fifth film put together called Return to Sleepaway Camp. And rabid fans online, when that was sort of in rotation, were able to find the 34 minutes of Sleepaway Camp 4. And that's when the movie got pieced together into its initial DVD run in 2012. I could be wrong, but I also believe that the 30 minutes or so of footage were released as a special feature on the Return to Sleepaway Camp DVD or Blu-ray. A certain John Kliza hunted down the footage and worked with the original director, John Markovich, with a new editor to finish the movie. Have you seen? No, you said no, because I think neither one of us have seen Return to Sleepaway Camp, right?
No, and that's the most recent one, right?
It's the most recent one. I don't. I think. Am I going to get this right? Felissa Rose. Am I saying that name right? She's the star. She plays Angela in the first film. I believe she returned for that installment.
Oh,
I know, so I kind of
okay,
want to
that's
watch it.
interesting. I did read that she turned down the role of Angela for the second film because she just didn't think she could like handle the camp of it all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was like didn't feel like she could do like the comedic, like
Really? So that's
yeah,
why they recasted her. It's too bad because she's like such a famous icon now for the franchise. Kind of would have been nice to have some consistency, but that said, Springsteen kills it. I think, anyways.
I mean, not you're not wrong.
So, do you think this means that Bruce Springsteen has seen Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3?
Maybe like on the tour bus. He was pretty busy during this time. Like I
Was
don't
it?
know.
Yeah, was this peak Springsteen? Or no, that probably was 70s, 80s, or at least
Oh, we're
80s.
still in peaks. We're
We're
still
still
in
in
peak
peaks. We're still in
Springsteen.
Peak
Yeah,
Springs.
it'll
Okay,
never end. Never
that's
end. I mean,
true. He's still doing good.
yeah. I mean, he has a Broadway show.
Oh wow, nothing more
Yeah,
American. Nothing more American than a Broadway show.
yeah. Right.
Oh well, good for you, Captain America. I'd like to believe that he's very supportive of his sister's film career, and that he
Yeah.
was at the premiere at least for number two. Which I like. Do you remember the poster for the second one? If not, I can paint a picture for you.
No, I don't.
Okay, so the poster for the second one always intrigued me a lot as a kid because okay, it was one of those video boxes like in the horror aisle that like I had to visit every time because on the cover you see Angela. I don't actually think the model on the cover is Springsteen, but I could be wrong. And she's just like in the woods with a big backpack on, but attached to the backpack is like Jason's mask, and also coming out of it is Freddy's glove. And it's like, oh, like you think those two are scary? Wait till you meet Angela. And I was like, damn, Angela means
Uh,
it.
Wow, and they were able to do that? Like there's
I
no copyright issues with that?
That was my question because in Sleepaway Camp 4, they do get to the segment where like the two teen boys are trying to prank, I think, Angela to scare her. And one dresses up as Freddy with the knife hands, and one dresses up as Jason with a machete.
Yeah. And then she pulls like a Leatherface look, right?
Oh yeah, she does. And
Yeah,
she
she's
has
like
yeah, she
chainsaw.
does. And I think she kills one of the kids with the Freddy claw. Am I wrong?
Oh God. Yeah, that
Yeah.
does sound right. It's
Yeah,
so funny. It's been less than 24 hours and
I
I feel like
know.
I've already blocked some of it out.
It's like it's like yeah, it is not. I feel like it's not good for your brain. This movie, it's definitely not like helping. But
No. No.
I listen. I enjoyed the. I don't know because I watched it in 3 segments. The 2 segments of 45 minutes, I didn't hate it, although I was very confused, and it didn't help that the version I watched was mirrored, like for some reason. So like yeah, like the intro text was like completely on mirror, so everything must have been like kind of backwards. So like I guess that's kind of a metaphor for what the movie was like in general,
Right.
but it like does give you a headache kind of. It's like trying to read something too far away when you're not wearing your glasses. What?
Oh yeah.
Um all right. So I'm going to run us a little bit further into the cursed history of the Sleepaway Camp 4 production. Yeah, so it was completed officially 20 years after initially being filmed and abandoned, and they used the footage that they shot to make a trailer. They, I believe, filmed a couple of new scenes, and additional narration was added to tie the clips together. And so eventually they did release this on DVD in 2012, and then again on Blu ray in a limited release in 2018, which is amazing. Are you in the States, Andy?
I am, yeah.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, this mother is on Amazon Prime in
Oh,
America, which is very
wow.
funny to me. If you go on like Just Watch for America, like there's a few options, but I'm in Canada, and you go on Just Watch, and it's like, what the hell are you talking about? Like we've never heard of this movie.
Right.
That's what the page said to me. So yeah, so I think that's like a um pretty basic rundown on why this movie took over 20 years to get made. Something that's kind of interesting is that Return to Sleepaway Camp actually was officially released before Sleepaway Camp for the Survivor. So what like would you consider this so and this movie officially did come out after Return to Sleepaway Camp. So do you see this as the fifth film in the franchise, or does this still stand as the fourth?
That's a good question.
You know?
I feel like we're living in the age of like it doesn't like the fact that
Mm.
we've jumped from 78 Halloween to 18
Yeah, we're on
Halloween,
Halloween 2 Part 3.
right? And we don't, and I guess we're kind of told to not acknowledge like the other Halloween movies from
Yeah,
like the
which
90s.
is
So
which is rude.
yeah, but in some ways I like it, but in other ways it's like for the average person,
Yes.
I like worry for them. But
I I genuinely worry for the average person, so I agree with you.
right,
Yeah.
but I don't know, like if it, I'm trying to think from the perspective of like a diehard Sleepaway Camp fan,
Which they're out
and
there. I'm sure you've
they
noticed in your
are.
research that they're there, they're thriving.
They're out there because I mean, without them, I don't think this would have been made,
Definitely
right?
not.
So
Definitely
yeah,
not. For like what 80 grand or whatever it took to make it, but still.
yeah. I think I'm gonna say that this is the fifth film, and I really hope like a Sleepaway Camp fan
Wow,
doesn't like track me
wow.
down.
They're gonna come for you soon because soon I'm gonna make you
Yeah.
say your Twitter handle. Yes, Sleepaway Camp 4, The Survivor, you heard it here, is the fifth entry in the Sleepaway Camp films. I cannot believe there are 5 Sleepaway Camp films. Isn't that just truly
Right.
bonkers to you?
Yeah, you would never like based on watching the first one, just like by yourself when you're 15 years old watching a Netflix DVD, you would never think that this would
Yeah.
warrant like
It didn't. These were such
yeah,
garbage direct to video, like exploitative kind of horror. And that
right.
has its place in the world. I can't say that it doesn't.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
I,
just wish it wasn't as like brutally, violently, hatefully transphobic as it is. That's like it's a bit of a red. It's a bit of a red flag for me
for sure.
personally. But
I do kind of wonder if like this would even if this movie in general would even be on our radar though without
and
the
then
transphobia of it all.
definitely not. It is the ending that still shocks the universe. And
Right.
yeah,
It would
I mean, it's shocking, but like
it's
for bad
possible that would
reasons.
have been right, yeah, it's possible it would have been like lost to time if it wasn't for that. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
and maybe
know.
it should
Again,
have been. I think I
again, I don't
heard.
want Sleepaway Camp fans to like come for me, but I do
Oh
kind
no,
of
they're going
feel
to. I okay.
yeah, no, if you're a Sleepaway Camp fan, please reach out because I'm interested.
Yeah, we want to have this conversation. We want to open a dialogue with you guys.
Right.
I wonder how many of you, how many of them are queer. What would be your guess? Would you say that like this queers would gravitate to this franchise or no?
I do feel like that the queer horror community has kind of taken it back and has embraced this for what it is.
Oh my god, I love
Um,
it.
yeah, I
Good.
think someone, it was one of the hosts of, oh my gosh, what's that podcast? Faculty of Horror.
Hell yes.
Yeah,
Canadian
love that.
Queens.
Yes, love that podcast. That said that this used to be screened at a Queer Fear
Okay,
film
yeah.
festival that I think is
It's in Toronto.
bygone.
Yeah.
Is it still?
I don't think it is.
Oh, okay. But this used to be kind of like a Rocky Horror adjacent, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like let's just embrace this for what it is kind
Well,
of thing.
the first film, it's not on the level of the Friday the 13th movies, but
No.
it is a step above the sequels. It's kind of like in this, I'm going to say it again, liminal horror space between legitimate and non-legitimate, because there are some pretty, I don't want to say impressive, but like affecting or effective kills in the first film. Like really gross, like
Yeah.
makes you look away
Right.
kills
And
that the second
practical
movie can't do.
effects.
And practical effects too, yeah. And like memorable performances, kinda. Like
I
the
mean,
scary pedophile is memorable. Like every time he's on screen, I'm like, oh no, it's the guy that is a pedophile and gets melted.
right. Yeah. And
He's
then there's that
scary.
one guy, he gets an arrow like shot through his like neck, and it's an impressive effect for the time.
Very impressive effect.
Yeah.
The girl that gets like her entire back slashed up in the shower was pretty
Oh,
gross.
yeah.
And I think there's one very famous one that we're forgetting. Do you know what I'm alluding to? If not, I can get into it.
Um,
It's the
well,
hair, the curling iron.
oh yeah, that's I don't acknowledge that.
You know what? I'll do that with you. I'm gonna join you in not acknowledging that
Yeah,
moment.
it's that's a lot. That's
It's beyond.
yeah.
Um, but just like the ending, seared into the psyche of our generation.
Hmm.
Pun not intended. Okay, I feel like we did well. We have all of the information for number four. We kind of know how we feel about this franchise on a whole. You, as a horror fan, it is the Sleepaway Camp franchise like in your realm? Is this kind of your thing, or are you more of like a Criterion horror man?
I'm a little bit all over the place. Like I do like a Criterion and I do like a campy sort of classic, but I do hmm. This is a good question. Like I definitely don't think like if I were to have like a collection of horror movies that like I
Uh-huh.
don't think Sleepaway Camp would definitely be in this like if I could only hold like an armful of
Uh-huh.
movies, let's say.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
think
Yes.
I'd probably have to
She wouldn't make the cut.
sacrifice Sleepaway Camp. Yeah.
Yeah, she's gotta go. But what about like some of the more like beloved campy 80s moments like the Freddys and the Jasons? Would they make the cut?
Oh yeah, for sure. I really love the first Friday the 13th, and I think the last 15 minutes is awesome. Like the reveal
Yeah,
of
it's very good.
Mrs. Voorhees, for sure. And then what else in the 80s? I mean, yeah, gotta love Freddy.
Freddie's my girl, my number one, ride or die.
My
Freddie.
number one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, let's see.
And then obviously there's the Michael, there's the Halloween.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Halloween is really my first love. And
Okay,
I
well that would
don't.
make sense.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about like I've just really loved the first one.
I was
And
just
the
gonna
second
say, yeah.
one, Yeah, the second one
Okay.
is, Halloween 2 is, like I think at the time when I first watched it, I was really taken by the fact that it like picks up right from the last.
Mhm.
I don't really think prior to then I had really watched a sequel that like picked up right away. And so I was like
Yeah,
into that at the
it
time.
is jarring, and now I think you kind of call it like pulling a Halloween 2, which I
Oh,
like.
yeah, that's great.
Hmm. Although, yeah, I do kind of feel like Halloween 1, anyways, is kind of like where Criterion Horror meets the franchise folk. So that's my opinion on you. Um, have you seen any horror lately that you would want to give as a, what am I trying to say here? Have you seen any horror movies lately that you would want to recommend?
Yeah, I feel like one horror film that's not being talked about quite enough is Possessor. It was directed by Brandon Cronenberg. Have you seen
Hmm.
it?
I have not seen
Yeah.
it, but
Oh,
I just watched a Cronenberg movie now, actually, but it was his dad.
oh, well, I love his films too.
Oh, really? I just watched
But
Map to the
yeah.
Stars like today.
Oh, that's like a newer,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, within the
Yeah.
last 10 years. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, well, Possessor kind of is like I would be interested in like a debate between like whether or not it's sci-fi or horror, but it's
Uh huh.
certainly scary, which is why I would kind of put it in horror territory. And it's like brain implant technology so that you can like basically be inside other people's bodies. So
Cool.
the main character is like an assassin that has to take down a certain person, and but then it's kind of like, once you're in somebody's body, like, can you truly get out? Like, it really goes
Oh,
into that.
weird. Very Cronenberg-y
It's
sounding, actually.
it's very Cronenberg, yeah, for sure. And so that's like a
Okay,
horror
cool.
film.
I'll have to check that one out. I do remember
Mhm.
hearing it make a splash, like in festivals, if I believe, but I haven't seen it yet because I'm bad, so I have to watch it.
Well, it's bleak too. I would definitely like save a
Oh,
certain mood for it because like
I'm
it's
not in the
not.
mood for that, actually. I just watched
Yeah.
the bleakest TIFF movie of all time, and I'm still
Oh.
mad that I watched it. It's called Silent Night with Keira Knightley. It's just too much. That's my
Oh,
review. That's my review.
I
Have you heard of it?
I wasn't aware that that was a bleak movie. I thought it was kind of like a
No. Oh my god.
Christmassy.
Yeah, it
Oh,
does take place on Christmas Eve.
okay, but in a dark way.
It couldn't be more dark. Okay, I don't want to give too like. I don't, can I just give you a quick logline and no one will be
Yeah.
mad at me? So, a group of friends are celebrating Christmas Eve at this remote, like large estate in the beautiful English countryside. And there's this like funny collection of best friends and their kids getting together for this really nice dinner. As the evening sort of rolls on, we start to get the sense that something really bad is happening and the government has distributed like suicide pills to everybody, and we think that this group of people are planning on taking them in the morning because something like from Russia, or maybe it's going to be like a natural disaster, we're not sure, like is supposed to hit that night, and then that's
Oh.
how the movie continues. I know,
Oh,
sounds good though, right?
that sounds. It does sound good. It sounds very rotten though. I just feel like in the age of COVID,
Yes,
I
it did feel rotten because it is very
yeah,
post COVID, like it feels very obviously post COVID
right.
in a way that you said rotten. I love that.
Yeah,
It was
rotten. Like it
it
doesn't sit
rude. It's just like it's just like
right.
exploitative of my poor little emotions.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like something that Keira Knightley would be like. Oh yes, let's do that.
Yeah, well, you need to check in with your girl because she made me watch this movie. So
Got it. It's very that's giving me melancholia vibes too of like
yeah,
facing
yeah,
down the inevitable.
and that's the
Oh,
fucking movie. I know. I know. So I think Tiff needs to give me money or something because
yeah.
it was too much.
I have to
Too much.
ask, did you see Halloween Kills?
No, it wasn't at TIFF.
Oh, I thought it was a TIFF.
No, it hit
Oh,
Venice. Halloween
Venice.
2018 was at TIFF. And little
Hmm.
douchey little story that I have is that I was got to go to the world premiere of Halloween 2018 at TIFF, and I sat 2 rows behind Jamie Lee Curtis and her husband,
That's
Christopher Guest. I
incredible.
know, isn't that incredible?
So
And then I hated it.
the
Sorry, everybody.
oh yeah, no, I've heard you say that you hate it
Oh, really?
on the
I should
podcast.
stop. I should stop. It's very controversial, I find, so I should be
No,
careful.
no, not really. It's just like, hey, it's like
What did
another
you think?
entry.
What did you think?
I mean, I really like it.
Get out of
It's
here.
just, I mean,
I hang up. No, I'm kidding.
no, like it's just kind of like giving me, it just kind of gives me life that we get to see Laurie 40 years later, and like,
Yeah.
is it executed in like the most amazing way? No, but I don't know, but I feel like I'm kind of coming home to someone that I love.
Oh, well, I love
Yeah.
that. I just didn't love how it was nothing like Laurie at all. Like that was just a failure to capture Laurie, in my opinion. What's
Hmm.
with all the guns, Sarah Connor? Like this is unnecessary.
Right.
And no scares, you know what? I don't need to get into my review of Halloween Kills. And I can respect your opinion, and I do. I know I do. You're not the only smart person in the world that likes Halloween Kills. It's just it wasn't for me. I
Well, I
know.
haven't seen Halloween Kills yet.
Oh, sorry. It's just hard to call it Halloween. You know,
It is. Well,
it needs
yeah.
a subtitle.
Right. It's Halloween 18, I
Yeah,
guess.
it is.
2018, not like 18th movie. Although it does feel like it's the 18th movie.
It kind of is. I'm
Yeah,
excited for this new one a little bit because I hope it goes the silly slasher sequel route. Obviously,
mm,
Rob Zombie's Halloween, not everybody's favorite.
uh,
Definitely, I don't like it at all. But what I
yeah.
appreciate about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is how little it's trying and how it's just giving me that 1980s deep sequel energy of just like weird ideas, going at it quickly, hopefully it works kind of a vibe.
Right. I'm kind of going into Halloween Kills knowing that it's deliberately the second movie of a trilogy. So, like,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, let's acknowledge what's happened in the first one. Let's set up the third. Like, I do believe that there's going to be like a sandwich sort of vibe to it.
Yes, this is the
Um,
one with like the big trees, right? But you're
right.
not making it to the big
Yeah.
eyeball yet.
Right.
Does that reference land?
I think. I mean, but also I'm just like dying to see Kyle Richards in it.
Oh my god, I know.
And
We just did an
that's,
yeah. I am too. I am too. Do you think she's gonna pull it off?
I mean, I think she will.
I think she will too.
Um,
How hard is this gonna be?
I mean, she like it's like you just have to kind of like tap into like you were a little girl and you were on this like weird low budget set, and like there are scenes where she does like as a little girl she was like face to face with this man in a mask, so I kind of wonder if
Scary.
she's able to like tap into like her
Oh
weird
my
childhood
god.
memories.
That's a cool article. You should or think piece
Oh
or I don't know what it is, but that's cool and you should write that.
yeah, I mean, I just think it's so crazy that like 40 years later you get the same actor to come back to play the role, and on top of that, like of like what are the chances that this person ended up being like a real housewife?
I
And like
know.
it's
Well,
just fun to see her do it.
the Kim was also in all sorts of weird movies too. And if
Yeah,
Kyle can deal with Kim, Kyle can deal with Michael Myers, right? I feel like
that's the truth. And you know what? Vice versa.
vice versa. Oh my god, put Michael in an episode of Beverly Hills, see how long he lasts.
He'd probably take Erica Jane's side in this whole like
I would too, and I know that she's doing terrible things to people that do not deserve it, but her music career is everything for me. I'm
oh
really
my
into this I'm really into this like UK
god.
pop like collective called PC Music, and she teamed up with them, and ever since then I was like she can kill kids, whatever. I'm pro Erica Jane. No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I take it all back. I'm gonna cut all that out. Um, it takes it. What did she say when like someone asks her on the show like, "What's gonna happen to Erica Jane?" And she was like, "It takes money or something." I don't know. I think
Yeah.
it's too expensive. Yeah, I'm sad to see Erica Jane go. I'll be honest.
Oh my god. I mean, I don't really think she's going anywhere
No, this
necessarily.
could have been the best thing that happened to her. I feel like before
Yeah.
this, people didn't care.
Right. Yeah, she had this sort of cult following, I think. Yeah, I don't yeah, and
I don't really know what she and her husband did, but it did seem like they did bad things to people. So,
they just weren't giving people their money, basically.
well,
Yeah.
no, I can't back that up. That's terrible. Um, so this is our the end of our podcast about The Real Housewives. And I feel like we did a really good job capturing the spirit of that franchise. Okay, so in conclusion, overall thoughts. Does this need to exist? This hobbled Frankenstein together fourth film, like, does it need to exist in the world? Are we glad that it does?
It doesn't need to exist, but I am actually really happy for the people that like fought to make it happen. Like that's pretty iconic.
Yeah, good for them. Horror history in the making, or already made. Andy,
Right.
where can you be found on the web if you so want to be found?
Yes, I want to be found on Twitter. My handle is simply Andy Scott 0, because regular Andy Scott was taken.
Of course.
And I will be back on Instagram soon. I just took a little break.
Right.
And by little, I mean I took a break before the election, and I've just been procrastinating. But you will find me on Instagram soon, I promise.
I love that. Listen, you have to hype it up. You got to keep us guessing. So I think you're doing the right moves.
Yeah, and if you want to check out the I'm sorry. If you want to check out the film, if you want to check out the film that I made that we discussed earlier, that's in the little bio on my Twitter.
Yes, and you absolutely should watch it. You need to go watch it. I was like, am I going to watch this? I don't really know who this person is. Then I watched it and I was like, oh, this guy is severely talented, and I begged him to come on the show. And that's
so nice
that's our origin story.
Thank you. That's so nice of you. It's really great to hear.
Well, thank you for coming on the podcast. This was truly, truly a gift. And for talking about this really weird, poorly executed film that I guess deserves its place in the horror canon, as we've decided. All right, well, thank you so much for listening, and we'll be back with another episode of Development Hell. Coming soon to Dread, Val. Finn, a wanted criminal, hides out with an escort named Val, a demon. Val offers to make all of his problems disappear if he follows her rules. She has been expecting him all along, and it won't be easy to escape Val's dungeon. You can catch Val on October 5th, and on Blu-ray, November 2nd.